I think that was one reason why we picked Rob and Tad, just on the grand scheme of golf architecture. I felt like they were up and coming, and I felt like that fit, what I was looking for a golf course. But for how big it's got so far, I would never have imagined in my wildest dreams we'd even be here.
The big question at Landmand was like, how do we build greens that fit into this insane landscape? I mean, I've never ever seen a golf course on a landscape like that. And that's one of the things that makes Landmand so unique.
Well, we had an idea, or they had an idea where the clubhouse was going to be anyway, where we sat the first day. So they knew a starting point. At least they had that. But the morning that they got there, I gave them a gator, and I said, all right, you guys good? Because we were still farming. So I said, I got to go work. And they said, yeah, we'll be just fine. We're just going to drive around for a couple hours and kind of get the feel. And I said, all right. And so I took off, and they called me about an hour and a half later. And they said, Will, is there any way you could get us some stakes that we could put into the ground? Because we're already through 4 holes. They tried to make sure that it was a walkable, playable golf course. They had to move a lot of dirt because their routing is not using valleys or hilltops. It's going over hilltops. It's going through them. When we finally walked the routing, and I could not believe how we were going to put a golf course there. But Tad kept on reiterating, don't worry, we'll just, we're going to move the dirt. It will make sure that we're just massaging the land, not like butchering the land so it doesn't look like it used to, but we will massage it to make it a playable golf course. It was just amazing to me that they could have done that on this property. And then they utilized the whole property, which is, once people get out there and see it, you'll say, all right, it's 600 acres. It's a huge piece of ground. They went all the way out to the edge of the property and brought you all the way back and touched most edges of the property also. It's just phenomenal, the routing that they did.
I think a lot about the emotional impact of the golf course throughout the round and the ups and downs. And that's a big part of the design, not just the physical nature of the golf course, but like what it's doing to you emotionally.
It is a competition. Any advice for those listening that are part of the Summer Medal this year at Landmand? Any, tips of strategy coming from the architect?
I would just say that, you might want to try to really dial in your ball striking a little bit beforehand, because if it's windy, it can really eat you up. Landmand offers a lot of chance to play the ball along the ground and to mitigate some of that wind, and to pay close attention to what these holes are asking, and think about places that you can hit a nice low shot where you can stay safe and still score, because there's a lot of opportunities out there to do that. You just got to keep an eye on it. on a piece of property like that, you really need to build features that are a tribute to that land, and a tribute to the Andersons and it has to honor that land. In order to do that, we had to build, big, bold features, but there's so much subtlety in there. I mean, so coming all the way back around to my original point, when people just say, oh, they're bold greens, I mean, it's like, well, yeah, but they're also like incredibly subtle too. To just call them bold is like, just miss the whole fucking point.
A lot of them were, I guess, a little blown away of, the valleys were 250 foot, the hilltops were pretty narrow. The gaps between the hills were big. You start taking this topsoil off and you expose this, clay that hasn't seen the light of day forever.
We have these little, touch points, throughout a lot of our courses where you'll come into contact with people on a green that maybe you haven't been to yet, if you haven't played that part of the golf course yet, and also creates a memory too if you have played it. And I remember that shot I hit in there, and while you're watching other people do, what you attempted to do before. I think those are types of situations that create, real lasting memories and help create a strong emotional connection to a place. I think that Tad and I strive to do something unique on each project. Each one of our projects is a one-off in some way. We want each one to be its own special thing, its own special gift to our clients. Hopefully we'll be seen as people who went hard at each project and delivered something unique each time. I mean, I think that's a pretty good mark.